G'day scrappers. Well, welcome to a Scrapathon. We'll change the name instead of marathon, Scrapathon. Okay, so I thought I'd just go through the motions again and do a whole bunch of oddball things that I've picked up in the last couple of weeks. This is a isilon. I got 4 of these from a hospital pickup that I did a couple of weeks ago. I thought these were also UPSs, because I did get a big bunch of UPSs from them, and they're so heavy I didn't really pay attention, but I remember what these are now. These are, they're like a drive bay, hard drive bay, crossed with a server, also has a motherboard. They can actually be really good value. Here at the front you can see there's, what is there, 24 hard drive caddies, but these are all empty on this side, but there's actually hard drives on the other side as well. I remember picking one of these up when they weren't very old, and I remember I did well, and it was super heavy because it had all 24 hard drives at the front and about 12 at the back, and at the time these only have like 1 terabyte hard drives or something like that, can't remember, but at the time the hard drives themselves were still relatively new, and I remember I did make quite a lot from that system. But now, a few years on, and yeah, I've got 4 of them in one go, and yeah, they're pretty much obsolete now. In here are just little battery kind of packs, but there's also hard drive caddies here, so just to lighten the load and start it off, see if I can remember how to, there we go. Okay, yeah, so 3, 6, 9, 12 hard drive caddies down the bottom here, and just by picking it up I felt a lot of weight on the back, so I knew for sure there's going to be hard drives at least on the back, so that's all this hospital sort of needed, I suppose. Yep, there we go. So still 12 hard drives, so it's still pretty darn good. Although, yeah, like I said, they're kind of out of date now, so they're not really sellable. And but there we go. 12 hard drives. Yeah, they're 1 terabyte. So for servers, 1 terabyte is just to, these days they would put 4 terabyte servers in each one, and you know, just 12 of them would be a lot, but imagine if they put 36 hard drives in there at 4 terabytes, you know, we've got a lot of memory there. So, all right, so this back area is done. So now, let's get into the guts of it. So I do want to get rid of a whole lot of UPSs actually, and servers and PCs. So I've got a pretty big scrap session ahead of me. I probably won't make the marathon the Scrapathon as long as the last one. It's a bit of aluminium. Just clean off the plastic. There we go. It's actually stainless steel. Usually can throw it into aluminium. All right. Well, there we go. Here's our motherboard. We've got a couple of cards. It looks like we've got 6 RAM sticks, and again, it'll just indicate how out of date servers you really want at least 8 gig RAM sticks. Usually now they're looking at 16 gig RAM sticks, and then multiply that. But yeah, 2 gigabyte RAM sticks. So just way out of date for servers. Then 2 gigabyte RAM sticks are certainly not sellable. Gosh, 16 gig RAM sticks are not sellable. They want 32 gig RAM sticks now. I've already scratched myself a few times because I have been scrapping some oddball things. Just a couple little cards, little gold bands. That's about all I want. Yeah. So the good thing about scrapping these out now, I want to do all 4 today, not on video obviously, but because they're so big and bulky, I need to, you know, a couple of little good cards, these smart cards. You can almost put these into PCI cards, just a nothing board here. Yeah, but because they just take up so much space, I want to process them and get them in the van and send them off as scrap steel. The cases, at least, just the cases themselves are quite heavy, so almost don't need to even fill them up. Put a couple of bits in there, but yeah, they're super heavy just on their own. Okay, and there should be a decent amount of cable running through there, so we'll get some decent value out of it all. Pretty decent sized motherboard, couple of CPUs there. So probably kind of prefer to have the unit the other way around, but this way it's kind of just better for the camera to see. Might get these heat sinks out first. These are just your, looks like, could be just, I don't know, tin plated copper heat sinks. So we put this in. This is obviously aluminium, the fins. So I just take off these pins and put them into copper alloy radiators. Still get good value, you know. I think at the moment here we're getting about copper alloy radiators $3.50, maybe a bit more. Couple of heats, CPUs. It's all good. These ones, you know, obviously the whole system is kind of out of date, so even the CPUs will be kind of out of date. What are they? E5683s, Xenons. I'll probably just, I'll keep them, I'll put them aside. I'm going to my buyer in a couple of days to take a bunch of, I've had a big accumulation of laptops over the last couple of months, so I want to get rid of all the laptops and bits and pieces that I've accumulated over a few months, and it's certainly relieved a bit out of the garage, so I'll be able to continue cleaning that out, and because I really need storage space for things that I on sell. Just because everything, you know, obviously you want to keep everything under cover, and so there's only so much space I have under cover. I've now got I think I've got 5 wheelie bins full of cable to process, and I've been processing cable like crazy, but I've gotten all the cable out of the garage, so that's a start. All right, so a little bit awkward to get my big hands into these little spaces. Alrighty, so we've got the motherboard, we got our 2 CPUs, 6 RAM sticks, you know, that's alright. 4 units, so that's 24 RAM sticks. What did we get? 12 hard drives, so that's 48 hard drives. So there we go. 6 RAM sticks, but like I said, unfortunately, there are only 2 gig RAM sticks for server. Gosh, no good. Even PCs these days, 2 gig RAM sticks are just useless. You know, PCs, they want 8 gig at least. And like I said, servers these days, unless you got 32 gig RAM, forget about it. No one's going to buy, you know, 16 gig RAMs when 32 gig RAMs are pretty cheap for servers anyway, because they just don't sell that well. Okay. Screw into way. All right. But yeah, like I said, we do get quite a decent weight of steel out of these buggers. All right. There's actually not a great deal left. There's one riser card down the bottom. There are actually, obviously, there's 2 riser cards for the hard drives, or backplane boards, I guess you can call them. But these ones look, you know, quite complicated to get out. So all I want is the riser card down the bottom, and the rest can, the other 2, they're large, but there's nothing really to them anyway. So I'll just get these fans out, and this hole. Now, we're into it a lot better now. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting as much cable as I can now. And this cable, yeah, it looks like pretty good cable for, you know, at least it's got gold recovery sort of plugs. I'll show you. These ones have got the little fingers, gold fingers inside. Right, they're only thin. They're like RAM gold fingers. So I always get them. So I just, you know, snip them and deal with them later. Put them in with plugs. So yeah. Pretty simple scrap, really. Just want that base backplane or riser card. Just want to clean off all the wire. Yeah, so it was actually a really busy week, like flat out, and right up until yesterday, where it was a lot of cleaning up, a lot of doing stuff out of the garage and loading up the van for taking things to my buyer. And so it was a lot of work. And the whole week, kind of yesterday evening, last night, the whole week caught up with me. It was like, I was just totally exhausted. I had a friend call and said, "Man, you sound really, really tired." I said, "Yeah, just in the last couple of hours, the whole week caught up with me, and you know, just could barely even speak. I was so tired." So I kind of freshened up a little bit, and Kind of slowed down a bit today, but can't really just completely slow down when I've got so much stuff to process. I've got point of sales that I'm backlogged with. I really, you know, because although, well, the point of sales do have good RAM to on sell, so I've already got like 100 of each, like 4 and 8 gig RAMs to sell tomorrow. But I need to, just get rid of the point of sales, because before you know it, they'll call me to do another pickup of 150 of them or something, and I'll be just so overwhelmed with point of sale machines. I've got to get on top of them. So yeah, all I'm doing really here now is just a matter of cleaning up the wire. We've pretty much got everything now. You know, we've got our CPU, our RAM, our server motherboard, our hard drives. Yeah, just pretty decent value for what it is. Okay. It's just a nothing board, really, almost, but obviously good wire to clean up. Lots of wire. With the price of wire, you can never complain. Great value, actually. All right, I'll get this riser card out, which you probably can't see, and I think that's going to be us. So a good quick scrap out, good value. I'm certainly not going to complain. One more awkward screw. And there we have it. It's a decent mid-grade board. Actually, you know, it's quite good. It does have a gold band crystal. And that's it. Good value. I try not to fill these things up with, just make sure that they're all, yeah. Yeah. Just don't want to throw away good hard drives if they're in there. Yeah, as I was saying, I don't want to really fill these up with too much rubbish, because, well, firstly, now that I've taken out most of the bits, you can't screw the top back on, and so I don't want throwing it in the scrapyard and the top pops off, and then you got real junky stuff like plugs and stuff. So I'll just put a couple of decent things that look more like scrap steel than anything, so when it pops over it, oh yeah, it's just scrap steel. That won't go. That'll go. That's a bit too big. One more little piece. Anything. A lot of power supplies. There we go. All right, well, First bit already done. I forgot to put some fans back in, so get a couple in there. Yeah, because there's only one screw in the middle, but the part that it screws into is gone now, whatever that was. All right, well, we're done. Yeah, might see what else we've got. I mean, I don't really have to see, I can see it just from here. We've got so much stuff to scrap. I could make a, just noticed there's a little bit of gold finger here out of this card. Nice gold fingers, actually. Yeah. So probably in this scrapathon, I'm thinking, you know, just doing what I've picked up in the last couple of weeks, a bit of everything. So it'll be servers, definitely UPSs. That'll probably be the next thing. I might do a UPS, and then maybe a PC, then a server, UPS, PC, and we'll just go like that, see how long I feel like. Okay, I'm going to do this UPS here. It's not the biggest one I've got, but it was the most annoying one I've got, because when you get quite a lot of UPSs around, every now and then one will just, it'll get really low battery and it sets off a little alarm system, you know, and just keeps beeping. And it always happens in the middle of the night, you know, late at night, and off it goes. And because my bedroom's not too far away, I hear the beep, and it just drives me nuts. So I had to come out. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and find which UPS was making the sound. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah, just like the last thing I scrapped, you know, these are just good to get rid of the bulky steel in the next scrap steel run. Just, you know, they do take up a lot of space, and you know, it's good space because but it's, you know, UPSs don't really have a real high value. I mean, sure, they've got batteries, and you know, probably, you know, the best value is the heavy duty cable. That's about the best, and depends. And even these ends, brass ends, so I snipped them off straight away, put them into brass. But this one is actually tin plated copper, so I don't bother. They're very fine and wiry, you know, and they really fray up if you put them through a stripper. So I prefer to just put these into insulated copper wire. Sure, you get less, but you know, if they're clean copper wire, yep, I'll put them into my stripping pile. But with these ones, I don't bother. Just get out the brass prongs and be done with it. You know, we try and make every, well, you know, they say make every post a winner, but you can't make every post a winner, you know. Otherwise, be sitting here all day just trying to, you know, get a few cents extra value or $1 here and there. Whereas time is, you know, usually really precious when you're dealing with a lot of e-waste. You know, I don't have a real lot, but still, because I'm a one-man band, it's, you know, it's still a lot. And most e-waste recyclers don't go this far as I go. They usually pass them on to other scrappers that buy them at, you know, a reasonably cheap price, and they'll spend the time because they've got the time to do it. You know, some of the stuff I've seen e-waste recyclers pass on, they'll just put as scrap steel, is amazing, you know, because, you know, at the end of the day, if you've got to pay someone to scrap, you know, my board buyer, he has actually 7 or 8 scrappers, people in a line, all scrapping stuff, you know. But you know, they are very big, so they get a lot of uniform stuff. They might get, you know, 10 pallets of the one item, so it's very easy it's a lot easier to hire people to scrap uniform things, because you get quicker and quicker as you know which screws to undo and stuff like that, you know. It's only hard when you've got a whole lot of mixed stuff. Then they're trying to work out, oh, how do I get into this one? How do I, you know? And that's what really slows things down a lot. So, okay. Well, this one. Okay. Once we get the battery packs out, we really reduce the weight out of it all. We can play around, you know. Depends on how I feel. Sometimes I'll open these up and take out the wire, but then you end up with the plastic as well. Sometimes when I get a lot of UPSs, like at the moment, you know, sometimes it's just easier to leave them in these packs, taped up, ready to go. Still sell them as batteries at the scrapyard. Sure, they've got a bit of wire in there, but it just, when they're in these packs, it just makes it a lot easier to handle, like to load, unload, you know, to put on a pallet at the scrapyard. It's just one pack, you know. So again, it all adds up. All right, so we've got this, you know, rear set of wires here, and again, like a larger e-waste recycler wouldn't sit there and, you know, picking off every little bit of wire here, you know. Obviously I don't want to do it now. All right. And same with these big power boards, like my board buyer, who has, you know, your eight scrappers in a row scrapping. They have an avenue for these low-grade boards. I don't sell him my low-grade boards. Get much better value picking off the good things. But he would, you know, they would just throw these, take them out, throw them straight into their low-grade, and they get obviously better money than they pay me. So, but so to get my value, like I say to all scrappers, is, you know, just pick off all the good bits, and like on this one, there's quite a lot of good bits to get much better value than, like, even off this little board. Normally it would be a low grade, but just taking off this copper coil, it's thick copper. Sometimes you can peel off a bit of copper, or just throw them into transformers, and you're going to do much better than selling it as a power board to whoever. Okay, chickens come. All right. get this power board out. There you go. So it's a huge power board, and you know, look, you know, you got beautiful chunks of extruded aluminium here. You know, you got huge transformers. You know, we can get iron for that. You know, these copper coils bust off from into transformers, even iron for the capacitors. We've still got a mid-grade board here we can remove. Copper coils again. These little, you know, these copper coils are good. Bit of plastic, but we can unwind this and put this into #1 copper. Oh, yeah, I suppose #1 copper. Or maybe it's actually goes there as #2 copper, burnt copper, tin plated, because it's got quite a lot of lacquer on it. But still, and then we've got a heavy chunk of ferrite. We get, you know, at the moment we're getting good scrap steel prices as well, highest it's been for years. So there you go, nice burnt copper, as we call it. So there's a lot here, you know, there's probably, you know, $6 or $7 worth of stuff if I break it down. And then the rest is just cleaning up a bit more wire. There's one more power board here. So UPSs, they're incredibly heavy. They're back-breaking to pick them up and drag them around, but you know, you do get pretty good scrap value, was what I was trying to say, before my battery conveniently run out. It's you know, so there we got, it's just a nothing board really. You know, you probably could put in power board, but we do have your copper coils in here that we can bust out. That's as far as I go. Bust out the copper coils and then unwind the copper at a later date. 2 of them, nice. And that throws straight into scrap steel. Yeah, shoot. The board's not really worth even bothering taking out, but I can clean it up a little bit, get a tiny little bit of value out of it. Okay, so yeah, I have been processing quite a lot, and I've gotten, yeah, made big inroads into the garage, and yeah, just managed to yeah, I've scrapped a lot of things. I had a guy come and sell me boards yesterday, as well as laptops and stuff, and I had the display monitors that have been annoying me for quite a while, and they had to be done, or had to get rid of them. So I just pointed them out to him. I said, hey, you know, since you're here, you're going back, you know, is, you know, a scrapper, does do e-waste pickups from schools and stuff as well, but lives out in the middle of nowhere basically, and so it's only limited to how much you can pick up from schools, because they only usually have e-waste to get rid of once every 6 months, probably 12 months or so. So yeah, he took the 5 display monitors, and also had a plasma TV that I picked up the other day from that pickup. And I said, oh, you might as well take that. Oh, he goes, oh, I love plasmas, you know, and yeah, they're great. They're great to scrap out. And so he took that as well. So it makes a big difference for me, because you know, every time I come out and see, you know, look at, oh, what have I got to scrap today? You know, what's going to make a difference? And you know, I'm always looking at them monitors and thinking, oh, I've got to get onto them. But for me, it's not just scrapping them out. I've also got to then get rid of the screens, and you know, so there's a lot of handling still to go. And you know, because he's brought me boards and, well, laptops, you know, that not only scrap laptops, but laptops that I bought off him, you know, individually priced, and that I can on-sell and make a little bit as well. You know, well, I might as well give him a bit of, you know, scrap that he can get some value out of, you know, during his quiet times. Why not, you know? And it's all good stuff. And it works, you know, that way. It saves me a lot of time and worry. You know, stuff that I don't really want to scrap out anyway. But I've got to pick it up, obviously, when you're doing eWaste pickups. But those monitors have been around for a few months now, and just never get around to doing them. And so, yeah, it was really, really awesome. All right, we just got a server here. Take out the couple of power supplies. Nice. At least these power supplies have got nice gold fingers. They're actually quite good ones. And so I bust off the gold fingers and throw the power boards in with me, or sorry, the power supplies in with my other regular power supplies that are with cable. I get iron alley for them, you know. So there you go. Nice gold fingers. Why not? They certainly add up. I actually had someone call me, a subscriber, someone that watches my videos, I think, and asked me, oh, you know, can I buy your gold fingers? I've been accumulating gold fingers since I've started scrapping eWaste, and yeah, I get asked, you know, over the years I've been asked so many times from people, you know, oh, you know, you got gold fingers to sell, and that's the last thing I would sell, because it's the easiest thing to get gold recovery from, you know. You know, I'd sell gold plugs with pins, no problem. Almost tempted to just give them away, because I'm not sure if I'll ever recover the gold from gold plugs. Just the time it takes to remove the pins from the plugs, I just don't know if I'm going to ever have enough, you know, could ever be bothered spending so much time. I'd rather just, you know, there'd be a month worth of work just in compared to what I've got. I just got too much of it, and I'd rather spend that month going on holidays or something, you know, going away, you know. You know, get these little fans out, make a bit of room, these hot swaps. I don't bother trying to get the motor out, although these ones have got, you know, decent weight motors. I don't bother. But, you know, don't hold it against me. If you like to do that, good. You know, because when I look at my volumes of eWaste, and I say, oh, how busy am I going to be, or whatever, it's not just the amount of eWaste that I can see that I've got here, and I know that needs to be processed. It's also, I don't know what I'm going to be picking up tomorrow, you know. You know, I could all of a sudden get a call and, you know, like my POS client, you know, call, oh, yeah, we've got probably 150 point of sales here to pick up and a whole bunch of stuff. This is just going to go in copper aluminium radiator. It's just got the copper in the center here, mostly aluminium. You know, so I don't know what I'm going to get in the next couple of days. So, you know, I might think, oh, yeah, it's not too bad. My stock levels, yeah, I can manage that. You know, I'll get that done in a week or two. But yeah, all of a sudden, can spend the rest of the week just picking up stuff. And when you're picking up stuff, spend a half a day here, half a day there, you're not getting anything done. So all of a sudden, things build up. So that's why I don't mind giving away bits and pieces, things that I just don't have time for. It's a decent server. It's only got one CPU, but it's one of those giant CPUs. Check this one out. I mean, this one's worth collecting because you don't see these ones very often. Look at that one. Look how beautiful that is. You know, it's 2 inches long. AMD Opteron. That's an awesome, that's one of the most beautiful modern day PCs, CPUs. And so that's a nice collectible. You won't see them very often. I don't think I've ever seen one of these ones. They're extra long. You know, you get big server ones like the ones I just took out. Well, that's what they're normally like. Oh, they can actually be bigger, but that's unusual because it's rectangular and it's just so different. So that's a keeper just for to put in a CPU collection. Like I said, I don't think many would have something like that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 RAM sticks. Could have had 24, but 12. Now, I'm just trying it. Just got to work out. How to get this bugger out. Ah, well, that's probably one of the problems. I forgot to unscrew it. Torx. All right, so we've got a riser and a card, which is good. Riser, it's actually quite a high-end one, and a card, might check them out. Scrap steel. Okay. A lot to this undoing. Got to undo these power supply caddies because the motherboard goes right under this as well. It's a giant power motherboard, humongous, which is good. It's just a riser card and does have a nice set of fingers. You can just throw this in mid-grade if you don't want to bother with the fingers. If you take off the fingers, just throw it into scrap. But even the pins look pretty good in this. But, yeah. Somehow, oh, that's one way. Whew, look at the size of that motherboard. Hey, that is huge. That's awesome. Well, that's good. The bigger the better, hey. Okay, any secret screws? Usually only one screw. And if you don't see it, it could be a nightmare just trying to get out the motherboard. Oh, there's another one. See? Some servers can be so complicated. and they're actually very, very simple, but if you don't know the little trick to what you need to undo, you can spend so much time wasting your time. So this little card here, it's a little memory card, 256 meg, just RAM, but doesn't weigh much, but just a little bonus RAM. But yeah, 12 RAM sticks. You know, if there were 32 gig RAMs, we'd be in business. Depending on the RAM, sometimes even 16 can, you know, get us a bit of value. The 16 gig server RAM, obviously for 16 gig PC RAM, it's, you know, different ball game. We can build a few PCs out of them, but still 12 RAM sticks either way. Okay, well there's an 8 gig. Oh, hang on, just trying to get a close look. Ah, yeah. So that's an 8 gig, and that's a 2 gig. So 8 gig, 2 gig, 8 gig, yeah. So it's a mixture of 2s and 8s, but like I said, 8 gigs for server are just not, they don't cut it anymore, unfortunately. Believe me, if they were sellable, where it was worthwhile bothering with them, my buyer would buy them, you know. 8 gig RAM, no problem. I think I've got about 80 of them to sell him tomorrow. But yeah, 8 gig, sorry, laptop RAM or even PC RAM, no problem. Even 4 gig laptop and PC RAM has some value, resellable, that's worthwhile. But it, you know, you've got to understand it's got to be worthwhile for everyone involved, and unless you're selling them yourself, there's usually a lot of hands in the pie. Okay, looks like we've just got a screw at the back here to hold in the motherboard. There's always something tricky, you know, something that if you don't look out for, you'll spend so much time trying to get out your motherboard and not realise, well, it's really heavy at the moment, but it's because it's got the base plate. Just got to work out what's holding. Okay, so it's just these video plugs. And there we have it. One hell of a server motherboard. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't really have a great deal. I mean, it does have chips underneath these heat sinks. You know, got a nice BGA here. You know, there's some BGAs scattered around, but yeah, it's a lot is dead weight. Nothing on the back, obviously. A reasonably thick board, fiberglass. There is one gold band crystal, yay! But you know, just amazing the size of the CPU sockets. Yeah, never seen a pity there was only one. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a CPU like that. Such a narrow and long center and just so big. AMD Opteron. Yeah, got a complicated set of numbers, so I'll actually look it up, but I dare say it will be slightly out of date anyway. But it doesn't matter because it's just a really interesting one to put in the CPU collection. Easy enough backplane board. We can throw that into mid-grade. You know, when they're simple and it's just a matter of pulling the little blue lever and sliding them out, no problem. I didn't check. No, there was only 2 hard drives in there. The rest are just blanks, and the 2 hard drives were taken out, which is which is fine. Hard drives aren't really that much value, so I never lose sleep over it. I mean, you know, if they're in there, great, but it's kind of good in a way that they've taken out the hard drive, so I don't have to worry about someone's data or stuff like that, because even if they, you know, most places don't even ask me to remove their data or destroy the hard drives, but I still kind of, I try to when I can. What I want, at least to get rid of that bit. I should actually get rid of that. I'd rather keep on to stuff that looks like scrap steel, but in this case we'll still be able to get rid of everything. Beautiful. That'll stay. All right, well, there you go. So what was that? We did the server cross hard drive caddy thing, done a UPS, and it has to go this way. So we've done all right. Oh yeah, that's right. I bent this over. It's all got to be precision fit. It's not going to lock, but there we go. Well, that's another nice chunk of scrap steel ready to go, and just pile it all up. I've got a pretty busy start of the week, but yeah, by the end of the week I should be able to get to the scrapyard and get rid of a lot of my stuff. So now it's just a matter of cleaning up, remove the plugs, keep them for potential gold recovery, if not for me, for someone anyway. And these plugs also have the gold fingers in there, so I always take them because it's about the easiest thing to get gold out of. All right, well, before I scrap anything else out, I'm probably going to attempt to clean a bit of this board up and get this out the way. All right, so we've got a few options. We can just break it off, break the heat sinks off with the MOSFET. Hang on a minute. Or unscrew all the MOSFETs. See how it comes anyway. Get this huge transformer off. Yeah, usually, you know, the ferrite, it's on so tight that the ferrite just crumbles. I can't really get to that, so I'm not going to worry about that one. These come off easy enough, but you know, you can get like most of the copper if you bust through it, but this bottom part's sort of glued on, so a lot of times I don't bother. But you know, for some, if you've got time, try and get as much copper off it as well. Otherwise, throw it into motors, transformers. They're good. They're not going to come off very easy. Capacitors, iron. But you know, to tell you the truth, can actually get rid of this whole thing as iron, The only thing I do want were these little copper coils. They're too good to throw out. I mean, iron alley we still get, you know, here we're getting $1 a kilo. So even though iron extruded is worth more, but I'm happy just to get iron alley. Try and get this board off. There we go. So we've got a mid-grade board, peripheral board, whatever you want to call them. And I'll probably just get these 2 coils if they come. There's one, and they are damn heavy. So there we go. So yeah, touch of wire, and I'm actually, because there's majority it's alley and iron alley, you know, I'll just throw it in straight into iron alley. Can probably get these copper coils out of here. Nice copper coils, good copper. And yeah, I don't do it with every board, but in this case I'll give this one more try. In this case I'll get away with, yeah, they're just stuck too hard on. Yeah, one's got a screw and one's mounted, but yeah, I'm just going to throw that into iron alley, get away with one. But yeah, like I said, you don't want to throw a whole bunch of power boards as they are into iron alley and think they're going to give you iron alley. It'll just go as junk scrap circuit board, give you virtually 20 cents for. So I got one more thing before I go in and have a rest. Is this old Cisco 7200 series VXR. It doesn't look like it's got a great deal, but picked this up from the old Hoarders PC shop. Okay, nothing there. This one's got, okay, so a decent looking card. It's actually quite a higher grade card. 2 nice ICs. Yeah, but still nothing like super exciting. So still probably only going to go as a good mid-grade. It's a high grade, but because I have high grade and mid-grade goes as the same kind of thing. It's just a little bit different here. But yeah. I guess it's just these. Yeah, nothing on the back, but still a good, very good mid-grade board, you know. Yeah, I might even take off here one chip, still a good mid-grade. All right. What's this one? It's virtually the same. And then it's actually heavy, so there is some kind of components at the back there. Might be power supplies or something. It's giving us all the weight. go. Okay, well that's nice. Get rid of the battery. Yeah, it's this is a, you know, we can put this into server grade. 2 really oddball Intel flat packs there. BGA, a couple of gold bands. It's actually quite a nice board. So I'll definitely put that, only one-sided, I'll put that into server grade board. So, bit of value there. Oh yeah, just regular power supplies, not a great deal in that. Good to get rid of it, and good to get rid of this box. There is a backplane board, does have some nice pins, but actually there's something at the back here as well. Probably a power board. Being at the back. Network processing engine. You never know. It could be good. Okay. Well, big steel caddy for a small board, but it's still a reasonably nice board actually. It's got a ram stick that's actually screwed on, and a little bit oversized, so that's unusual. Be a nice one for a collector, but I certainly don't collect RAM. My collection's out of control anyway. Don't want to add any more. Yeah, a couple of chips, but still quite a good value board. Can probably, because it's yeah, it's kind of mid-grade. I'd be tempted to take off this BGA, throw it into mid-grade. It does have a gold band as well. As you know, I like my gold band crystals. All right, just have a look, see how complicated. Yeah, the backplane board would be okay to get, but it's just going to be just a bit much, and yeah, yep, I'm done with that. Happy with what I got. Looks like the main board, a couple of cards, you know, and a couple of power supplies, so pretty happy with that. All right. Oh, actually, what am I talking about? We also got this server grade board, so good value. When I picked this up from the computer shop, they actually had a bunch of stuff out in the front of the street for the council to pick up as well. And they said, I said, do you want me to pick up that? Oh, we put it out there because we mainly want to get rid of cable and stuff. And I said, oh, well, I'll pick out a few things. So this was just going to be thrown, you know, taken to by the council and just thrown with scrap metal. So at least I salvaged some good boards, good gold recovery. Hey, better than nothing. All right, I'll see what else we do. I really do want to, I'll probably do a couple of PCs or something, but I really want to get on top of my UPSs and continue this scrapathon. G'day. Good, thank you.
eWaste, people.
Yeah, you Sky?
Yeah, go around the corner there.
Okay.
Got it all just in here.
Okay. All right. So all that there. No problem.
Thank you.
Sure. So we interrupt this Scrapathon for a couple of pickups. Because that's what we do. It's a dental clinic in the ritzy part of town. Don't know if I'm going to have probably didn't need my bucket, but oh, UPS. Okay. I've got to take this. Stuff it in. We'll get it in there. Okay. One speaker is the other one out. Okay, all done?
Thank you so much. Right in the door.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Oh, that makes me feel so much lighter.
Yeah, no problem. I had to leave the couple of boxes
Oh, yeah.
because I had brought my own, so
All good, thank you so much.
my pleasure. Well, there you go. Job done. Strange place to put a dental clinic, 11th floor, but top end of town. So they probably charge $1,000 to get a tooth taken out. All right, so yeah, had to do this quick one. This is the one that I was trying to avoid, but oh well, 5 PCs, a UPS in there. Not that I need more UPSs. Now I'm just going to do a little school, and we're going to be done. We go back and finish the Scrapathon.
It also hints at
All right. Now I need the tub for the school pickup, so I can do that in one trip too. Hey, got a beige PC, vintage, old school, not vintage, quite vintage. All right, there we go. Phew. Alrighty, well, that's one job done. Okay, school time. We're still renovating this place. Big work in progress. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
How are ya? Printers?
But like, yeah, if you launch one, yeah, you can. Other old things, I don't know where they throw. But for now, that's all my stuff.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll fetch the other thing because when they started moving, we'll start getting all the stuff. So
Okay.
I can get your audio stuff.
No problem. Well, gets this out the way for you anyway. Oh.
Oh man.
So these are the minis,
Okay.
and these are iPad 2s, and these were just the older numbers, you know, the bigger stickers.
You're a legend. that's really hard stuff, you know, like yeah.
Yeah,
really
it
was.
took a long time, like each sticker,
I know.
and I had to, you know, I take them off just so when I send them off for recycling, there's no school, you know, identification on there, you know, so just so someone doesn't pick it up and says, oh, what's this, and they, you know.
Thank you.
No worries, Harsha, mate. Have a good day, huh?
You too.
See ya. All right. Only a small one, but it's only around the corner anyway.
You got the light. You got the light.
And yeah. Okay. yeah, so it's only small. He understands that, you know, it's not really, it wouldn't normally be worth it if I had to drive a long way for it. Like television, printer. Just 2 PCs. It's actually a good core i5 PC. You just had to take out the hard drive, but so what I'll do, I'm actually just around the corner from the transfer station, so instead of me dealing with the PC, the printer and this TV, rather than bringing it back home, I'll drop it straight off. And that'll be good. A couple monitors and a TV and a printer. Drop them off and go back. Okay. Monitor. Keep the cords. TV. Okay, and this printer, put this over with the computers. We'll have a look if there's anything I can snatch. Check it out. Sometimes there's bit of loose RAM and that, but nothing here. Nice, huh? What else while I'm here? Keyboard. Get rid of these speakers. Just save me having to get rid of them. Get rid of that. There's one more thing. Anyone want a fridge? Where was it? There was another speaker. Maybe I got rid of it. How's this? Batteries. This is where you store your batteries. This is how you have to transport batteries these days, in bags. That's the only way. That's lithium batteries mostly. But that's the only way EPA will allow. Okay. Well, that's a bonus, isn't it? Get rid of some junk. The TVs, the printer. All right. Well, that's all done now. 2 pickups, television and monitor drop off, and now we can head back and finish off the scrap. So at least we picked up a couple of PCs from that school. Apart from, you know, most of it was, oh, the printer and the TV and monitor were just dropped straight off within less than 5 minutes. So at least we got a couple of PCs, but you know, I picked up well over 100 iPads off this technician last week. So yeah, there's going to be a big pickup from that school actually when they finish renovating. They're building a whole new section, and so yeah, they're gonna put in new IT equipment, and all their old stuff is going to get recycled, so that's going to be a good one. And yeah, the little dentist in the heart of the city, I thought I'd do that, and on the way back do the school sort of in one thing and just get it out the way. And yeah, the dentist one turned out okay because there was about 5 PCs and then just cable and stuff, but you know, that wasn't bad. I mean, it's not quite my minimum, but you know, you got to help some people out too. You can't always, you know, get a whole pile. At least I could, you know, just do it in one pickup, come down and get out of there. So it was only you know, less than 10 minutes. So awesome. All right, let's go back and do the Scrapathon. Well, I'm back, and I thought, well, I might as well, since I've still got the camera on my chest, I might as well scrap this beige PC that I picked up from the dentist. So they've obviously had their eWaste sitting around for quite a while for this semi-old school PC to still be there. Not much to it. It's already had the power supply out. There's no hard drive. It does have one card, and it does have 4 RAM sticks, and obviously the CPU. The CPU is basically what I'm really interested in having a look at. Just a regular card straight into scrap PCI cards. Yeah, pretty pretty basic scrap, this one. Just a few minutes, but you know, I never knock back any PC, but it's always nice to get a beige one. You know, should get a, you know, maybe a green fiber CPU. I mean, certainly a lot better than the modern day CPUs, which are no good for me as far as for gold recovery or anything like that. So yeah, but when they're green fiber, that'll certainly go into gold recovery one day. These, some of these screws just, we've got the chicken come to the party as usual. But mostly the reason why I'm scrapping these PCs that I just picked up immediately is because they're deep, and I've got a lot of junk that I need to fill up PCs with. Just get rid of the battery. Okay, so yeah, 4 RAMs. I'd imagine they'd be like 512. Well, these ones don't even have any label, no chips on them. goodness, I can't remember what these were, but I can still put them in RAM, I suppose, but they're pretty useless. And these ones, Kingston, what are they? God, it looks like 128. 128. Oh, I'll just leave them as they are. The chicken's just come to have a look, wants to know what CPU we got, ain't ya? What do you reckon, a green fibre? I reckon a green fibre. Hopefully a black fibre, but I don't think so. Not even a black fibre, not even a fibre. It's just a one with pins, so there we go. Just the old Pentium with pins, so at least it got pins. And like you know, I remove the tin plated heatsink, and yes, yeah, it's not, no, it's got pins. So at least it's one with pins. Oh, we've got a decent motherboard. There we go. Nice extruded heatsink. And what you do with my side cutters? Throw that in. Just want the wire. All right. Well, at least I got another cavity. I'll just fill this up. Put this away. If the chicken gets in there, yep, I'm gonna lock you in. I'm gonna send you off to the scrapyard. You're a funny old chook, aren't you? God, there's some weird chickens around. This one's as weird as it gets. All right. Yeah, I just well, I do have a lot of PCs and a lot of UPSs and quite a lot of servers. So at least I'm slowly getting in. I've just got to clean up the junk down here, sort out some cell phones. I've got a buyer coming to look at all my old cell phones and stuff and whatnot. And this is just scrap laptops mostly. Stuff that are no good, too old to sell. I've got to get into more of these point of sales. And yeah, just keep scrapping stuff, I suppose. All right, well, yeah, the servers, PCs, it's all good. My hard drives are actually building up. What's that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and there's one over there. I've already got 10 full milk crates, so that's about 340 kilos worth of hard drives, and these are all things for partial depopulation or working out if I'm actually going to keep them. How's these boards? Hey, not bad, hey? Look at the size of that IC, gold legs, gold top, a couple more up here. It's actually quite a nice board, a lot of chips. So I just got to debate, you know, usually I'll just remove the good ones and the ceramic ICs and throw this rest into like a server board, but there's quite a few of them. I think someone brought me these. Yeah, definitely. I don't remember taking them out of anything. Yeah, a few more ceramics. So yeah, so I pay a bit more for them, but I bring them down one step to get the stuff. But got a few old things here, but that have been sitting around. That didn't really want to scrap them, but forgot all about it. So I just noticed there's a Cisco switch here. I've got to show you my other van and a bunch of Cisco stuff. Hang on. See if I can get around here. I really got to finish off these UPSs and go to the scrapyard. Got to get rid of this whiteboard, but I'll just see if my van. Yep, it's open. You can't see much, but this has got a super stack of Cisco switches, like a third of a van load. Look at all that, it's all Cisco stuff, all good little switches. I might even do a just a Cisco Scrapathon. Couple of funny thing was, these Cisco things, they're kind of, I'm not really sure, yeah, they're kind of like a switch, Ethernet something, but funny thing was, I thought maybe I could sell them, but I can't because they're too old, and I was even prepared to sell them for $30 each, right? But then he found out that no, they're too old. They're not going to use them. So he said, nah, can't buy them. All right. But then a guy came by and he looked at just those little metal plugs that go into the switches, and they were new in packets. And he said, I'll pay $5 each for them. So I ended up getting $60 just for the accessories out of each box, so $120 for the two, and I was happy to just sell the whole lot for $60. So I got me switches back so I could scrap them. They're Cisco, and yeah, but yeah, how's that? There's probably 70, 60 switches, Cisco switches of all different kinds. Few big PCs in there as well, but that's going to yeah, it's just going to be a nice scrap out, but I've left them in the van because there's no point in taking them out right now, because I want to continue to clear everything out of here if I can. Still got heaps of point of sales over this side as well as that side, so yeah, but all right. Well, I think that'll do for now for the Scrapathon. Won't make it too long, and we'll continue on, maybe do another Scrapathon, maybe do some scrap metal price checks. We'll just see how we go. All right guys, keep scrapping, have fun, and I'll catch you really soon.